Welcome to this conversation. Woo!
Whoa. Can you please put that foot away?
Let's set this conversation afoot. And the winner for cheesiest opening goes to Eric. Oh my God, that's so exciting! I'd like to thank Katie.
Why are you so loud?
For always being next to me.
Oh my God.
I'd like to thank my foot for always keeping me standing and giving me a purpose to talk. Thank you. Today we're talking about award shows and our feelings upon them.
About them. Our feelings about them.
We are also placing our feelings upon them.
Do you speak the English language? What was your first experience with the falseness that is awards? Because I'll tell you, mine was 2nd grade.
Mine was 3rd grade then. Yeah, I would say, yeah, 3rd grade.
What happened? What award was it?
It was a physical education award. They had when you reached 3rd grade, you had to perform in the physical fitness examination thing.
Yeah.
So they were
presidential.
Yeah, so there were 3 different levels. You could get the bottom level, the medium level, and the high level. And I worked at home. I worked so hard to make sure that I could get at least the middle level and be great. And then I got the basic level because I wasn't a physically into it kid and didn't hit the levels that they needed me to hit, even though I thought I hit all of them. And I went home and was miserable for 4 days. And I was like, this is meaningless. This is stupid. I'm still getting an A. It's fine. I'm done.
I was always bad at the physical fitness tests because I could not do a pull-up. I cannot do a pull-up to save my life. Anyway, my first experience with meaningless awards was 2nd grade, and I was in this gifted program. And they made us do these crazy projects that drove my mom crazy because they were the kinds of projects that were designed that a parent had to be involved. And the whole point was so your child and parent can get together time. But really everybody was at each other's throats and it was a miserable experience. So the project was that we picked a plush animal. We picked a stuffed animal or a fake animal, and we had to make its enclosure. We had to make its cage. Because we were supposed to make things that fit the animal. I don't remember what the point of this was. It was super stupid. So my dad had this plastic gator that lived on his desk. I was fascinated with this thing. It was 2 feet long and hollow and just this realistic looking plastic gator. And we borrowed it and we made it a cage that was a long cardboard box, and we cut out the holes and we did tape and duct tape to make it all silver and whatever. And at the end, every single person got a different award, and my award was most realistic.
Oh, that's dumb.
It was the definition of they think millennials are all expected and are entitled to an award. It happened in that class. Every single person got a different, most creative, most imaginative. Mine was most realistic. I loved that gator. One year that gator got kidnapped from my dad's office, and he was then sent Polaroids of it being tortured in various parts of the hospital. This is the humor I come from. That was over. He lost it over a bet. So I realized that and my mom, I was pissed. My mom was super pissed because everybody was told you were competing for a prize, and then every single one of us won first place in something. And then I went on to do dance competitions and realized the grading system in Irish dance is very subjective. And you get a judge who likes you, or you get a judge who does not like you.
Yeah.
I tended to do very well with the judges who were older and were interested in a more traditional style. And if it was a younger judge, just kiss my chances goodbye.
I think that was the same thing with me with doing theater competition stuff, because sometimes they'll hear, I tried to pick songs that were not songs that were constantly done for these performances, or acting pieces, which you have way more flexibility with a theater competition than a traditional Irish dance competition. So, for 1 year I did a song from Rent that is never done. The second year we did a song from Rent that was also never done. We did Light My Candle my sophomore year, which never gets done. It's always Take Me or Leave Me. The second year we did the Tango Maureen. Nobody does it. We could have gone to state, but they needed the money in like a week, and I was like, I can't give you $500 in a week. Like, who do you think you are? So then the senior year, I did duets, solo, and ensemble acting.
Okay.
We did 2 scenes from a show that we did in the fall. One of them I was in, one of them I directed. But then the one judge, it was the same set of judges for both of them.
Yeah.
And the one judge in the comment sheet was like, I just don't really like this play. And I was like, that's irrelevant to what you're seeing. Like, I don't care what you think of the show. You can call the playwright himself, and you can tell him that you don't like the show.
But if you present the material, you present it. Yeah.
So then everyone did a 1 act, and they pulled the all-star cast, which is like one person from each play. You got the like all-star award.
Yeah.
So I won that for the show that we did, and I know some of the other people in the cast were not pleased with it, but I don't care because I was very surprised. I put everything into my roles, no matter what they are. And then the issue came, which was when you go to state competition from districts, you could take, I think it was 3 superiors in whatever categories that your school got them in, and 1 excellent, and that's it. So that year, we had 0 superiors and 4 excellents.
And they had to pick the
my solo musical was the one of them. There was another solo musical from a different room that was one of them. There was a duet acting scene and something. There were 2 other people. I don't remember. And before we walked out the door, I was kind of like, oh, I'm happy that I got this thing. And my drama teacher was like, yeah, you're going to state because you're the one that worked the hardest and you've been wanting to do this more than anybody else. And I was like, well, thank you for recognizing that. And then I went to state and got an excellent, and I was like, well, this is so rude. I did that song from Pirate Queen that I love, which is like my favorite thing. Anyways, so like, awards are like up and down depending on like what you see. Anyways,
now
so
that's judging. That's more competition than award.
True, but
the next category is awards ceremonies.
So we'll segue into that with the theater stuff.
Yeah.
So my uncle and I got into a conversation. My uncle lives in New York. So we get into conversations randomly, and one of the things that he said, we were talking about, like I said, I felt really irritated. We're talking about Tony Awards right now. And I said, I felt really irritated that Anastasia got snubbed for Best Costume Design because they had the best costumes for anything this season.
They deserved several nominations,
and
but
that
costumes being like the primary
hands down. And he said, I stopped paying attention to anything with awards in 2004 when Avenue Q beat out Wicked because the judges said, oh, you think you can predict what we're going to do? Well, here you go. You didn't predict this, did you? Granted, there is a separate issue of like, did Avenue Q actually deserve the award versus Wicked? That's a whole separate issue of discussion. I think both shows are phenomenal. Yes. And I think as I grew older,
we've seen both several times.
And we've seen, yes. So like, there's the biggest issue with that is we actually don't know if it won the award because they thought they deserved it, or if it was playing politics and wanted to make a statement. And that irritates me.
A lot of award ceremonies are about making a statement. Whether it's making a statement by picking the person or picking a person because you know they're going to give a good speech when they get up to the microphone. Because I think they've definitely given awards to people to give them the screen time and to give them the audience access that winning an award gives you. Awards shows have definitely picked up over the years. Initially, they were very much just for the people within the industry, and then
now they've been broadcast, and
they're widely broadcast, and people weigh in on it, and they take it very seriously.
Especially now with social media.
Some award ceremonies, things like the Tonys, the Oscars, the Emmys, the Grammys are kind of there, but then something like the Annies, where it's all about animated films, like they don't get the same level of media coverage. It's what can you turn into a spectacle, and what can you turn into a show. You have something like the Oscars where there's the primetime Oscars that are televised, and then they also have a separate awards ceremony that's for all of the technical things.
Which the
that
Tony
they just do
Awards
like,
kind of
and
does
here
that
we
too.
talked about these things in a separate dinner. And I feel like those are a little more genuine.
Yeah.
Because those are just for the industry professionals, and you just get like a nice montage recap afterwards.
Yeah.
Oscar bait is a thing that has become increasingly common. It is entirely a marketing scenario. It is, they pick and choose what is going to be Oscar bait, and then the Oscars choose from that short list. So it's very much, it's kind of like if you were taking a standardized test and your teacher only taught the questions that were going to be on the test, whether or not that was a good review of the material you were supposed to cover in that class.
Yeah.
It's teaching to the test.
The other thing too is like those multiple choices that you were given for an awards. It's like, which do you think is the most?
Well, of these choices, then yeah, it's this one. There's been a lot of criticism on the fact that these big budget movies, or these movies that make a huge amount in the box office, are generally snubbed when it comes to Oscars season. When you look at, you know, what's being nominated for best film, and there are these small movies that had a limited release that most of the country didn't see. If you're going to televise the award
Something
ceremony,
to a public, yeah.
they need to know what the material is. And yes, there are diehard people who say, this got nominated for an Oscar, I will go see it now. For the most part, people aren't going to see a lot of these movies that come up for Oscars. The other thing is that if you even can get a nomination, it becomes a marketable point, whether it's for the actor or for the director or for the you know, the production team. You know, the Oscar nominated, the Academy Award nominated, the Oscar winning, the Academy Award winning actor, blah blah blah. They can charge more, they can get paid more, they can be used as a marketing tool more. You'll see a movie be re-released where someone from the movie won an Oscar after making that movie, and they will re-release the older movie and say, Academy Award winning actor so-and-so is in this film. When Hocus Pocus came out, Sarah Jessica Parker really wasn't a big name, and then after she became a much bigger name in a household, or a much bigger star in a household name, when they re-released Hocus Pocus, or when they'd run it on TV, it was Sarah Jessica Parker and all of these other names, when before she was the bottom of the list.
Well, that's like Carrie, though. Like, it was Sissy Spacek and Piper Laurie, and then once Grease came out, it was Sissy Spacek and John Travolta, like, because this was John Travolta's first film, so now we can, like, backtrack to that, so...
Yes, and Academy Award just bumps that up to an extra level.
Or just being in a popular film, honestly, like...
Yeah.
But... Yeah, I think awards, it's hard because you want something to win so bad, and you personally get attached to a project or a film that you feel like should win. I'm going to backtrack to 2012, 13. It was the year that Brave was nominated.
Okay.
For animated picture. And Brave won.
2012.
And, well, I wasn't sure.
Well, the movie came out in 2012.
and
It would have been 2013 award season.
So I was furious because Brave, while probably an okay movie to some people, when I walked out of that theater, I was like, I don't understand what happened. And now having more experience in the making of movies and how executives can play their fingers and things, I feel like that's what happened, and I would love to know the full story of how Brave got made and what the original story was and why it is the way it is, because it's a mess. Personally, you know what it was up against, and you know you're going to understand why I wish this movie would have won. It was up against Rise of the Guardians, which I think was a much stronger script. It had much stronger characters.
But it wasn't as flashy.
And it wasn't, and they didn't know how to market it. That was a huge problem.
That's
with that
a movie
too.
for a lot of animated movies, but yeah, because Wall-E had the same marketing issue.
Yep. Didn't Wall-E win though?
Yes, because it had artsy elements, but I mean in terms of like people knowing what that movie was when it came out. Nobody knew what that movie was going to be when it came out. Yeah, you've definitely seen where like they've announced the award and you're like, why is that the thing you picked? Or they've picked something because it'll make a political statement, or they picked a person because it'll make a political statement. And
that just irritates. It's like, you got to give it to the person that you think did the best job, or the movie, or the show, or what have you. it's got to be the thing that you think is the best. And I
The
don't think the best of the best is getting in these awards
and
categories.
the other issue is when they nominate. The nominations also
are very skewed.
You look at, they make a lot of jokes about, Oscars So White, where all of the nominated actors are the white people.
And that's that's a whole big discussion too, because it's like, are we going to nominate? I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this without offending everyone.
You don't, nominations shouldn't be done by a quota.
Yes,
but
they also have to be done by talent, because saying that there were no talented people other than white people
is completely false.
False and unacceptable.
The other issue is, and this comes down to more financial decisions with the studio, where they'll say, well, an Asian actor hasn't been able to carry a large film. Well, it's because you've never given them a large film to carry.
Which is why Wonder Woman was such a huge, ground, oh, this works? Why? I'm shocked. I'm just like, why is everyone in the world, no matter what industry, why are people stupid?
Yep. The entertainment industry is a very interesting case where, if there was an awards for, dentists, only dentists would care. No one else would care. Or maybe if you were related to one, you might kind of care a little bit, but, deep down you wouldn't care.
Hermie for Dentist of the Year. Sorry.
Whereas the entertainment industry, people who have zero entertainment experience all have an opinion.
Yeah. If you don't work in the entertainment industry and know how the entertainment industry actually works, or actually know what has gone into something, you just judge it on face value and you go, I think this. That's great. Joe from 24, Smarty Pants Lane, nobody cares what you have to say.
For you to come up with.
Yeah, I didn't know. I couldn't. I kept going through names of streets that actually lived on, and I've never lived on Smarty Pants Lane.
You are Smarty.
I am Smarty Pants Lane.
People end up developing. It's the same way when people who have never run a mile in their life are commenting on professional sports. No.
The other thing too is, and this isn't really where this conversation was going to go, but we'll go there for a hot second. Politics is another one. People have their distinct opinions on how people should run their political stance.
Yep.
Which, as a country that votes, that's what we do. We nominate people that can run the country and our government and whatever to the best of their ability. The problem is that
you're generally picking the lesser of the two evils, or lesser of several evils.
Yep, and it's just irritating to me because there are some people with opinions on politics, entertainment, all sorts of things, life in general, and I just go, how did you get to that opinion? And then they can't explain it to me. They just go, well, I just think this is it because it is. And I'm like, that's not... If you asked me why I thought something... Okay, we'll go back to Rise of the Guardians. Why do you think Rise of the Guardians is a fantastic movie and should have won? Well, it had amazing visuals. It had great story elements. It had characters that were recognizable but also done completely differently. The score was absolutely gorgeous. There was a balance of magic and darkness and light and humans and mystical beings. And it had a really good balance with that. There were great... visual elements. There was the story. I could go on and on and on and on.
Why did you like Breathe? There was a strong girl.
And I'm like, I don't. And even that wasn't accurate. She was so whiny. I don't even think she was strong.
She was my sister.
She was very. No, yes and no, but she was super arrogant and was just like, I'm gonna do this, and everyone's like, yeah, you do what you want to do, and I'm like, but. So you're going to completely blow off your parents instead of actually trying to sit and have a conversation. There's a whole, anyways, a whole separate issue.
Your issues with Brave are a separate topic.
But people can't. When I ask why do you like Brave, and they go, it was fun. What was fun? The whole thing. I can't. This is why I can't talk to people. This is why I don't have friends. I can't. If you're not at a certain level of conversation and. Intelligence, I can't talk to you. And I think that's where it gets to with awards ceremonies and talking about, what do you think should have won and why did you see any of these movies on this list? And people will say, no, but I like this actor, so I'm gonna vote for them, or I think they should win. And I'm like, I can't,
Yep.
I hate talking about this.
You are so spun up. I'm so sorry.
I get so irritated watching awards. I almost have to put aside my opinions and my thoughts and feelings for whatever I honestly think should win and watch it for the sheer entertainment value of, like, what is this host doing now? Like,
Which is why I love when Neil Patrick Harris hosts.
Yeah. Tony Awards are usually a very entertaining award show. You have a group of people that that are fun.
Do you know why? Because an awards show is a theatrical production. So the Tonys are made by and for people who understand theatrical productions. The Oscars are made by people who do film, and the Oscars are not film. The Emmys are made by people who do television, and they have it mostly figured out. The Golden Globes, why? The Golden Globes seem super, like, superfluous to me. Like, why did they happen? Emmys is television.
Are they the ones that
Oscars,
are at the dinners?
Yes,
the
that's
Golden
the one
Globes,
that, like,
at the dinner tables
Tina Fey and Amy Poehler have hosted, or Ricky Gervais has hosted. So you've got the Emmys are for television. You've got the Oscars for film, the Tonys for stage, the Grammys for music. Why do the Golden Globes exist? Because they give awards to both television and film.
It's just to have something else on the resume and something else to stamp onto your movie to say
that bothers me a lot.
it won
Especially
something.
because the same movies are all nominated for all of them. Like, if you nominated things that didn't get nominated on the other round, it might be more interesting.
Yeah.
But no.
Which is why I think independent film festivals are really fun, because you can put, like, the banners of, like, it was chosen or it won or something. So you have movies like there's a movie
for the marketing.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a movie I found at a library. It was an anime movie that I would not have been interested in seeing if I didn't see all of these banners on the top. I was like, this thing has been at like 800 different film festivals. Not that many. But I was like, what is this? And it ended up being a fantastic. It was very, very good. And you know, I'm not an anime person, as you can probably tell from the
Everything about me?
Yes. I'm more of a let's talk about preschool shows, because apparently that's what people are watching on this channel. So I don't even know how many views this is gonna get, but I'm not competing for an award. And if I was, man, I would have some words to say if I won. Like, thanks! And yay! And woohoo!
Oh my god, I hope you're never nominated for anything.
You hope I never win anything. Because if I win, that's gonna be my thing. Thank you! Yay! Woohoo! Good night. That's my whole speech. I probably will start with that, because I've said I'm going to start with that.
I know
and then I would
cry.
never get emotional over something so surplus. Have you ever won anything and you're like, why did I win this award?
Or did you not win an award and realize that they're all stupid? Because I feel like I've also been in that boat where you've been like, you worked really hard and you didn't get the thing and you were like, oh, it's done. I also won a championship with a stomach virus.
Oh, yes, yes.
I was dancing, and usually when I was competing at dance, I was really keyed up because it's like a competition work. And I was miserably sick that weekend. I threw up in my shoe in the middle of the night, like sick. I was in team competitions and I wasn't gonna let the rest of the team down. And we get to the championship and it was the last dance of the weekend. And I was just like, as soon as I finish this and I get off the stage, I'm done. And I danced, and my mom says I looked perfectly relaxed and I hit everything I needed to hit, and I won the championship with a stomach virus. Which taught me how to, like, relax and let go, and that genuinely was the best thing for competition. But also, like, my best performance was violently ill.
So, like, who even knows? Also, so if you want to answer those questions in the comments, that'd be great. If you also want to answer why the Golden Globes exist, we'd also like to know that.
Please tell me the purpose of the Golden Globes.
Tell me the purpose of literally all of these award shows, and why they are necessary, and why they are so irritating.
mostly please explain the Golden Globes to me.
See, what's funny is that one day in the future, we might
gonna
be
get
nominated.
nominated.
We might win one of
my
these
God.
things. And we're gonna go, thank you so much for the...
Why?
Yeah, we're gonna go, thanks for
Thank
this.
you
I don't
for
know
this.
why, but like, cool.
What is this?
I appreciate this
Who is
hunk
this?
of metal. This, this hunk of metal. Oh, well, if it's an Oscar. Thank you, yay, woohoo! Good night.
Thank you, yay, woohoo, good night. Those are all sim commands.